It's Tuesday and the vendors have all new goodies for us, so let's check it out. Starting in the Scholarium, we have Bound Affix Script Intellect and Endurance. Adds Intellect and Endurance buffs, increasing Magicka and Stamina recovery. Bound Focus Script Pull adds a pull. Bound Signature Script Anchorite's Potency adds a Consumed Soul Gem to grant ultimate effect. And it looks like that's it this week. Let's head over to Imperial City Sewers. We've made our way to the sewers. Let's see what the Telvar Merchant has.
Keep throwing.
First up, we have Southern Elsewhere treasure maps. These are relatively inexpensive at Guild Traders, so I would not spend 6,000 Telvar on them. However, if you're curious, Southern Elsewhere brings us Dragon Guard Elite, Marauder's Haste, and Sensual Defender, as well as a chance for 4 books. You would need to know the eidetic memory before you dug up the maps in order to potentially find these books, but they are available there. Next up, we have our scripts. We have Bound Affix Script Mangle, adds Mangle a debuff reducing max health. Bound Focus Script Poison Damage, adds poison damage. Bound Focus Script Restore Resources, adds resource restoration. And Bound Signature Script Knight's Valor, adds improved use of bash or blocking. Next, we have Fragment of the Baron. This is a guaranteed drop when you kill the final boss of the Cauldron, which is a DLC dungeon. This is one of 6 pieces of the Puncture Lava Burst skill style. Remember, guaranteed drop. So if you are able to run dungeons, that's probably a better option than 25,000 Telvar. Our first set of jewelry is Hue and Sunder. We have an amulet and ring. Our first lead is Bizarchy Tonal Pipes. This is part of Rorken Steam Guards. And I'm excited about this one because it drops from the final boss of the trial, Halls of Fabrication. Because leads are definitely not a guaranteed drop, it often takes several runs, especially if you're looking for your second or third copy. I know some of you crazy people are out there. So this is a great option at 25,000 Telvar. Next up, we have Double Moon Leather Cop. This is part of Rakat's Void Mantle. And I got excited at first because I thought it was the Marv Lorcage lead, but sadly it is not. That is the other Leather Cop. This one is from the Northern Elsewhere Public Dungeon, Orcrest. And then finally, wrapping it up, we have jewelry for the Vice Cannon, both necklace and ring. All right, let's head to Infinite Archive. Okay, let's see what Filer Ul has.
Ah, a mortal.
Hey, we're starting off strong with Westweald treasure maps. These are still running anywhere from 10 to 50k, I think, on PCNA, which makes them a pretty good deal at 2,000 archival fortunes. Kind of depends on how you value your fortunes. We have tried to come up with a numeric value for them, but nothing really that's being sold here has a gold value that's static outside of the week to week. So it's kind of hard to tell, but I think these might be worth it. Westweald brings us Alien Refuge, Macabre Vintage, and Symmetry of the Weald. But what's really exciting about the Westweald treasure maps is there are 10 different furnishing leads that you can get. So if you are trying to get Codex especially, that's 30 different leads that you will need. You're probably not going to get exactly the right ones, and you're probably only going to get one for about each 6-ish maps that you dig up. So I think this could be a good deal if that's something that you're looking for. Next, we have Blueprint Elsewhere Meal Whole Roasted Chicken. This runs anywhere from 8 to 250k on PCNA. There's only 6 listings, so there's going to be a range. So I definitely think this is a good deal, and it's a great item to have if you're into housing. Next, we have the Fargrave Rope Bridge. This one's not worth quite as much at only around 10k on PCNA, but it is, again, a very nice pattern to have if you're into housing. Next up, we have our scripts. We have Bound Affix Script Innervation, adds Innervation, a debuff reducing critical damage. Bound Focus Script Dispel, adds a Dispel. Bound Focus Script Trauma, adds Healing Absorption effect. Bound Signature Script Growing Impact, adds Enhanced Buff and Debuff application. Our style page this week is the Lord Warden Shoulder. This, of course, is from Imperial City Prison. However, I usually don't recommend shoulders. They can be had for keys when the mask style page is dropping. I think it's easier, for me at least, to spend keys than 15,000 archival fortunes. When I'm looking for shoulders, I like to spend one key at a time. I tend to get them for much cheaper that way than spending, I think it's 50 keys per shoulder. All right, next up, we have companion equipment light armor. This is something else I don't usually recommend. Companion equipment, when bought this way, is bound, and you don't know what trait you're going to get. So the chances of you getting something that you can actually use is pretty slim. Next up, we have Coral Hajimoda Decoy. If you use 25 of these, which come from Spire of the Crimson Coin Public Dungeon in High Isle, along with the 25 lures that you can get from Ghost Haven Bay Public Dungeon, you can make yourself a Coral Hajimoda pet. These run 7 to 10,000 gold on PCNA, 1,000 archival fortunes here. If you only need a couple, I think this is a great way to get it. Otherwise, they do drop pretty easily, the first one each day at least, if you run the public dungeon, so you could have both in less than a month. But if you're just missing a few and you want to be done with it, absolutely grab them this way. Our final plan is Diagram High Elf Bowl Serving. This is a base game plan, and as you can see, there's only 3 listings on PCNA, ranging from 17,000 to 140,000. So this is a great way to get it. Next up, Disgusting Spoils, 3,000 archival fortunes. I don't usually recommend these either. Consume 25 Disgusting Spoils to unlock the Scheming Skeever's achievement and the Malographic Skeever pet. At 3,000 archival fortunes times 25, it would cost you 75,000 archival fortunes if you wanted to buy all of them this way. I think that's way too much, especially knowing that it is guaranteed with your dailies eventually. There's a curated order in which these fragments drop, and you will eventually unlock the pet. But if you're just missing a couple, and again, if you just want to be done, they are here. Our first book this week is Dusksaber Report. This drops out of Infinite Archive, but the eidetic memory is in Telvanni Peninsula. Next, we have Fragment of the Vents. This is again for Puncture Lava Burst skill style. It's one of 6 pieces. Remember, we saw Fragment of the Baron over in the sewers. This one is Fragment of the Vents, which drops from High Isle and Galen volcanic vents. And remember, fragments are a guaranteed drop if you just go do the thing. So I would go get it that way. Next up, we have our leads. First, we have Petrified Daedroth Horn. This is part of Spalder of Ruin. It drops from the Deadlands world boss, the Abomination Circle. And then our second lead, again, not quite as exciting, is the True Way Clay Dials, which is part of Stormweaver's Cavort. This one also, kind of like our fragment, drops from High Isle and Galen volcanic vents. Sadly, unlike the fragment, it is not a guaranteed drop. You'll probably have to do several to get it to drop, or you can spend 5,000 archival fortunes here. So these aren't quite as exciting as the ones we saw over in the sewers. They can't all be winners, but if you do need them, they're here. And then our last item is a book, The Legend of Fathom's Drift. This one drops from Bastion Nimics, but the eidetic memory is in Fathom's Drift in Apocrypha. Remember, you'll need to know the eidetic memory to buy them or for them to drop from their respective spots. So if you don't have the eidetic memory and you're on PC, I do have all of the books in my guild hall. If you go to home tours, I'm listed under Spantifical, and all the information's in the write-up below as well. Okay, let's run a couple arcs of Infinite Archive and see what new gear is also dropping this week. We just ran a couple arcs of Infinite Archive, and it looks like this week we have gear dropping from Craglorn. That includes Way of Air, Way of Fire, and Way of Martial Knowledge, and also from Galen, which includes Back Alley Gourmand, Bastion of the Droif, and Phoenix Moth Thurge. That's going to do it for this week. We'll see you in the next one.